Please subscribe to Facetv Africa and turn the notification on. Facetv Africa, ẹ jọ̀ọ́, subscribe, hete.
Face TV was Swoby.
Chief of Defense Staff, Major General Christopher Musa, says to address the lingering insecurity across the nation, military authorities must build the capacity of officers by putting in place a reward system that promotes efficient service delivery. The senior army officer gave this advice in Ibadan during a lecture and book presentation in celebration of this year's Army Day celebration. This is a strategy meeting designed to assess the operations of the Nigerian military since its formation 160 years ago. Little wonder senior military officers has converged on the ancient city of Ibadan to come up with options that could assist the army administratively in the battle against terrorists. Major General Taurid Abiodun Lagbaja, Chief of Army Staff. The event also featured a discussion session where panelists urged officers to draw strength from numerous challenges confronting the nation using administrative ingenuity.
The Nigerian Army is celebrating its 160 years of existence. Over the years, the Nigerian Army has remained resolute in ensuring that it denies all the tasks our adversaries from gaining any territorial, economic, technological, or psychological advantage over our collective interests as Nigerians. Against this backdrop, the topic for this year's Nadcel lecture was titled Optimizing Administration for Successful Counter-Terrorism and Counter-Insurgency Operations, Strategic Options for the Nigerian Army.
Major General Adeniyi Oyebade, guest speaker. High points of this expanded training program was the launch of a book on the lessons learned in the military's participation in ECOMOG operations from 1990 to 2003.
And I want to say that the group life assurance is not an army policy. It is a federal government policy managed by the Ministry of Defense. And I believe at the time that policy was formulated, it was anticipated that the casualty rate would not be as much as what we have seen at the peak of the counter-insurgency operations. So we have seen, as at 2021, we had up to 5,000 on claim and unpaid leave to families. And as a few days ago, the number has increased up to 9,000. And what is the effect on administration and then the fighting troops? It has negative impact because an average NOK, particularly the widows, will always put the blame on the Nigerian Army. We've not been paid our entitlement, which is not true because the Army does not owe any soldier whose documents have been properly processed. Minimum 1 year plus, all entitlements due them are being paid by the Nigerian Army.
The Chief of Army Staff, there is an issue I really want you to really take a look at. And I think having the Chief of Defense Staff is here. This issue of group life assurance for troops. Since 2014, if my statistics is correct, I think we have well over 2,000-3,000 soldiers who have got to pay their group life benefits. And as simple as you can see, it is very, very critical for the functionality of every soldier. Because each and every one of us, we desire that in event of death, that our families at least are assured of a reasonable, comfortable life. This issue is not really tied down to the Army because my understanding was that the payment of premiums It's something that will have been done by the federal government through the defense headquarters. But that has not been done.
Major General Christopher Musa, Chief of Defense Staff, the take at this event is a charge for the military to show good example to the citizenry, while also protecting the rights of officers who are in and out of service to enhance more commitment to duty.
General, it doesn't mean anything. For him, it is a great deal. I've had situations where soldiers have left the theater because they were not paid 2 days of allowance to RCA. They keep on harping on that and they feel cheated. I think we should look at those aspects that every soldier in the theater or anywhere he is, commanders must make sure we look at the aspect of their salaries, their allowances. If they are not paid, it is our responsibility to ensure that they do. These little things matter a lot, especially for commanders. What we realize during operations is that the commanders' minds are somewhere else rather than the theater and their men. If we don't take time to consider the well-being of our troops, we have serious issues. The issue of man management during training. How far do we go to understand that the man is the main machine, not the equipment? If the man is happy, prepared, and ready, he will give you his best. I think we look at those aspects and then. Next is the issue of medical. How do we treat the injured? How do we treat the dead? Because those alive are watching. And he feels if he has to use his money to cure him, to treat himself, go for surgery, go for this and that. Nobody will want to give you his best.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor this morning on behalf of the Chief of Army.
Please subscribe to Facetv Africa and turn the notification on. Facetv Africa, subscribe,
Face TV was Swoby.